Well, after an electric start to the season that rapidly saw us fall back to the depths of mediocrity, we have gone back to the tactic that got us into the Challenger Pro League in the first place and hoping to start the month of December off on a very high note. Welcome back, one and all, to episode 13 of Bottom to the Top. I am Mr. Cellophane, and after our last episode, which saw us not win a match, we came back with a brand new tactic, well, a brand new old tactic, as we reverted to the 5-3-2 that saw us with so much success in the previous season. We came back with a 3-3 draw at home against Lommel SK before dropping a 2-0 decision on the road at a superior Beer Shots squad. Before we finally picked up a victory 2-1, also at home against Oostende, and then playing to a 0-0 draw on the road at last year's rivals Olympic Charleroi. We head into action with our final two matches of the first half of the season. So the last two teams that we have not yet played in the Challenger Pro League before we go back to the beginning and take on Patro Eisden and Dender EH again. Can we continue to have some semblance of success? We've been a little up and down. We were all the way down in 13th place at one point. We are currently sitting where we started last episode, in 11th place on 16 points after 13 matches. Just 3 points off of the drop, but also 3 points out of a playoff spot. Now, while we can't get promoted, so the playoffs are not really an option for us, that's not our goal. We do want to finish as high up the table as we can, and at least the board is still relatively happy with us. They really don't have anything negative to say to us. They're very pleased with our overall leadership of the team. And for our first match, we find ourselves against a team that was promoted along with us from the Eerste Nationale last year in R.E. Virton, currently sitting in 12th place, so right behind us in the table. We had to rejigger our bench a little bit. We have lost Lucas Lindfairs. He fractured a leg in training. He's going to be out for probably the next 3 months. Also, we do have a limitation where we can't play any players who have played for one of the other Royal Antwerp sides, whether the senior team or the C team, the team below us. So our bench looks a little bit different as Matthijs Jokens is going to pop on up. Lemens, he made Team of the Week last week for the 0-0 draw against Olympic Charleroi. He's going to be in goal. We have a back three of Noah Wins, Zeno Vandenbosch, and El Mazad. Ben Hamed is going to be our left wing back. Corbin will be on the right-hand side. Our midfield will be made up of Zanan at the base with Doms and Elias Tavsan back in the squad, again being made available to us by Royal Antwerp FC as more of a roaming playmaker. So we've switched up his role just a little bit because he does have the greatest level of athleticism on the pitch. The board and the supporters have not been happy with the recent performances of Dario Catius Carpe, and frankly, neither have I, with a 6.2 rating in his last 5 matches. So he is going to start the match on the bench. Peter Van Hees is going to take his spot, leading the line next to Gwendal De Halle, who leads the team with 8 goals in 12 appearances. So a pivotal match at the Lisp. Last year against R.E. Virton, we beat them 2-0 and then drew 0-0 on the road. So hopefully our success from last season will be able to carry over, not only tactically, but also with the results on the pitch, which I guess is kind of the same thing. Pretty quiet start to this match as R.E. Virton in the 14th minute are going to get a free kick. Zemzemi sending it forward. Namri settling it down. Has to retreat. Zemzemi with a long shot. That's going to hit off of the crossbar, and Van Hees will clear that out for a corner kick. R.E. Virton with the first major attempt on goal of the match. Karamoko sending it in, looking far post. That is going to be headed clear, and no harm, no foul in the early going here at the Lisp. Still 0-0, but R.E. Virton on the attack again. A throw in, Zemzemi throwing it back for Lavrik. He's got Kalfi playing it to the far side. De Almeida switching it over to Namri in edge of the box for Nangis. He makes it past his man and throws it past Lamens for his 7th goal of the year, and R.E. Virtone taking an early 1-0 lead, just 21 minutes and change into this contest. And I was hoping that we would pick up this episode where we left off with a win and a draw, not counting the friendly we played in our off week. But so far, that is not to be. And it's not helping that R.E. Virtone has had the ball about twice as often as we have. But let's see if we can make them pay. A free kick opportunity for Young Reds from about 45 yards out. Elias Thompson will send it low. Van Hees in for El Mazad. And El Mazad picking up his 2nd goal of the season, putting it past Martin. I have to admit, I kind of like these plays, these cheeky little ground passes on these free kicks. So instead of sending it forward, catching the defense off guard with a center back playing in an offensive position, and El Mazad makes them pay. Elias Thompson isn't going to pick up an assist on this, but it was his choice to go to Peter Van Hees that made that entire thing happen. So Young Reds able to equalize at 1, but R.E. Virtone coming back. Zemzemi playing it in. El Mazad can't clear it too far. Mazaka throwing it back for Karamoko. Carrying ahead, De Almeida in the middle. Usmane Kamara with his 2nd goal of the year. They're not raising the flag. It's 2-1 R.E. Virtone. So we're giving up goals that we shouldn't be giving up. We're not getting as many goals as we need. As in the final couple of minutes of this first half, R.E. Virtone controls, but Corbain's going to step in front of a pass and take it the other way. It's a 2-on-2 situation right now if they hurry. Corbany in the middle. De Halle getting his boot on it. Mezaga blocks it. It goes out behind for a corner. So a chance for Young Reds to pull even once again. Ben Hamed to send it in near post. El Mazad can't get his head on it. Van de Bosch nods it down for Van Hees, but Nangis is going to knock it away, and R.E. Virtone coming back the other way. Sent across. Zemzemi ahead for Kamara. They're saying he was offside, and the linesman on the far side does agree. The flag is up. Offside is the call, and that's going to be the end of the first half. 38% possession for Young Reds just is not going to do it, although we have taken the lead in shots on goal. So we've started to move the momentum back our way. Let's see if we can capitalize on that, get an equalizer early in the second half, make it a new match, and see what we can do before the end of the 90 minutes. We are going to make one change for the second half. Doms was feeling a little out to sea in that first half, so Dieter Van Hees is coming in as Thompson clears away the corner chance, but Namri pulling it forward again, edge of the box, sending it across. Kamara, marked but unmarked, picking up his 3rd goal of the year, his 2nd of the day, and R.E. Virtone picking up that goal that we needed early on in the second half. FM, I told you we need to score early in the second half. I feel like sometimes this game listens to me and doesn't do what I need it to do. Where I talk about how well we're playing and then all of a sudden we fall apart. Or how much we need a goal and they're like, okay, you want a goal? I'll give you a goal for the other team. Very disappointing to go down 3-1 to R.E. Virtone. And I think this is just starting to cement the feeling that I've had for a little while now that this is most likely going to be our last season in charge of Young Reds, because we're hamstrung. We are given the players that we have, being able to make moves and improve the squad as we would like to. We just don't really have that opportunity. As Van Hees is going to get knocked down by Anas Namri, it's going to be a penalty. We are going to have a chance to get one back here in the 63rd minute as King Corbany steps up and delivers. So it's going to be 3-2. Kobe Corbany with his 2nd goal of the season. Both of them have come from the penalty spot. I mean, we don't really expect a lot of scoring from our right wing back, to be fair. But we are also lacking a bit of talent in the penalty department. That's why we brought in Katias Carpe, who unfortunately just was not delivering anywhere, wasn't getting the chances to take the penalties because he just was performing so poorly on the pitch. Speaking of which, though, we are going to give him a chance. Dario Gutierrez Carpe is going to come in place of Gwendal De Halle, who's just not having a fantastic match right now. Adam Zanon also not playing very well. We'll bring Loris Henry in to man the base of the midfield as 2 additional changes are made with about 17 minutes left to go. We're going to rely on these guys to hopefully get us back in this match. We are only down 1. There's still plenty of time. I feel like the momentum after that penalty should be shifting in our direction. We're only sitting in 12th. Again, we have not really lost any ground, even though we have not yet picked up points. And, of course, I say all these things about what we need to have happen. So, naturally, not a single highlight to end the match. 3-2 is going to be the final score. R.E. Virton is victorious. We've dropped another one. And our woes, our mediocrity continues. So when I hit record on this video, I thought, well, everything seems to be going the opposite of what we expect. So episode number 13, I thought possibly might be lucky for us. And that hasn't been turning out that way at all, as we now face stiffer competition in SK Beveren, currently sitting in 6th on the table on 21 points, so 5 points ahead of us in that last playoff spot. And we find ourselves only 2 points ahead of the drop. And we thought that we were going to have not 1, but 2 Royal Antwerp FC players available to us. In fact, they made them available in Elias Tavsan and Arthur Vermeeren. I got all excited that our midfield was going to be perfectly stacked, but they're ineligible for the match. So we have made some changes. Lamens is still going to be in goal. We're going to have a back 3 of Henry, Van Bosch, and El Mazad. Ben Hamed and Corbeny are our wing backs. Keita is back in, our captain, at the base of the midfield, with Amal and Zanon ahead of him. Gutierrez Carpe is back in the starting lineup, paired along with Gwendal De Halle. And hopefully we get a better result than we did in the last match. Pretty please. We just have been massively inconsistent. Our last 5, a draw, a loss, and a win. A draw and a loss. So if the pattern continues, maybe we'll actually win this match. Who knows? We could really use those 3 points, though. And a final third throw-in from Corbeny. Getting it back from De Halle, pushing it forward, but Limbaum is going to step in front of him and play it to his goalkeeper. Ahead to Filipovic. Vitens up for Dagashan. I don't know how to pronounce that, but stepping in front of him is Ben Hamed, and here we go the other way. Keita getting from Henry up for Ben Hamed. Turning away from the defense, Henry again, cycling it to the right, Van Bosch to El Mazad. Looking to move it forward, has a little bit of space. Going for De Halle, can't find him. Filipovic, though, knotted down in the way of Zanon, and De Halle is going to pick it up just outside the 6-yard box. Pick up goal number 8 of the year, but we already know that he had 8 goals in the year, so we know that that's offside. And the flag is up, confirming it, so the goal has been disallowed. Thought we went up 1-0, and yeah, not to be. So I think I've figured out how you can tell if a goal is going to be disallowed or not. All you need to do is know what the season goal total is of the potential goal scorer. And if they throw up the number that you already know it to be, then the goal is it's not going to count. 3-3 shots on goal through the first 30 minutes. Possession going wildly in favor of SK Beveren. But we had the best opportunity of the match because we had a goal called back for offside. Didn't see it live, but once the referee puts their flag up, there is no VAR in this league. Vitens ahead for Dagassan. Koyalipu. Stepping in front of him is Henry, and Ben Hamed will clear. Zanon nodding it forward, but once again, SK Beveren gaining control along that far side. Dagassan in the middle, Michel. He's got Dossi. For Kier Remeteng. God, some of these names, man, I swear. He misses it wide, so wasted opportunity for SK Beveren as we hit the half. They've held the ball twice as often as we had. They're out shooting us 5-3, but we're still tied 0-0, which I guess is a good thing. We had a goal disallowed. They have not, so in my mind, we're doing well, and we're actually winning the match. Getting a point out of this will be absolutely huge for us. They'll move us to within 3 points of the drop zone instead of 2, although RFC Liège is right on our heels, but we're not that far off of a top half finish. In fact, 4 points right now separating us from 8th place. 5 points now. Our Virton currently sitting in 8th. God, they were behind us just a couple of weeks ago. It's amazing how things can turn. Bispo sending it across. Far side, tipped away by Lamens. Almazad clearing, but he can't get it past the defense. And, oh my goodness. How many penalties are we going to cede this season? I think that's 4 or 5 so far. And we're here in, what, match week 15? Koyalapu puts in his 9th of the year past Lemons. There was nothing Lemons could have done about that. I mean, it's how we lost 1-0 to Liège, right? That was just a couple of episodes ago. We just can't stop from making stupid plays in our own box. Changes are coming. I mean, lots of anxiety, lots of nerves out on the pitch. Robbie Doms is going to come in for Sanan. I mean, Amal's not having a great game, but it is what it is. Nolan Guillot coming back from an injury will make a reserve appearance. Malik Keita is furious. He's in danger of being booked. Corbini's not in a good mood, so Mitrovic is going to come and replace him. Van de Bosch and Henry already have yellow cards. I mean, and let's bring in the Van Hees boys. No relation to each other. Names are spelled differently. But Peter and Dieter coming in. We are making 5 changes. Rolling the dice and hoping for the best. Going very attacking on our mentality. Let's just try to throw everything at them. I mean, we've only gotten 3 shots on goal this entire match. And the wheels truly are starting to come off of Young Reds because I think we've hit the limit of our talent. As Guillot to throw it in with about 2 minutes remaining in added time. Guillot up the sideline, runs into traffic, throws it in the middle, and it's picked off by Naiman. But Elmazad steps in front of that one, nods it down. Dom's looking to feed it through. He can't find Van Hees. Played back out by Beveren. Naiman getting it back from Bispo. Bielcic to Fella. Limbaum ahead. He's got a challenger, but sending it all the way in. Lamens is going to cover that one up. And I think that may be the end of the highlights, sadly, as he drops it down and sends it long. Can we gain control? No, we can't. Angili, Guillot knocking it away, though. Van Hees with it. Peter to Amal. I think that's Peter. I lose track of my Van Hees. Oh, what a slide tackle. And Dieter Van Hees, with his first goal of the year, is going to equalize in the 94th minute. I can't believe what I just saw. Peter Van Hees with a massive slide tackle at the edge of the box, knocking it free right onto the feet of Dieter Van Hees, who was waiting for it. Filpovic, whatever his name is, could not hang on to the ball. And the Van Heeses tag team SK Beveren to hopefully rescue a point from this match as time is all going to expire. And wow. That's all I can say about that. I mean, Beveren taking the lead in the 75th minute with the penalty. I thought it was all over. And then literally with a minute to go, Dieter Van Hees pots home his first goal of the year to save the point, keep us 3 points out of the drop zone, keep us firmly in mid-table as the first half of the season comes to a close. Well, needless to say, we are muddling through the season, so we will continue to muddle through before tomorrow's episode. Probably come back sometime in the month of February, maybe a little bit earlier if things get super interesting on one end of the table or the other. Please make sure you smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. It does not cost you a dime. It does nothing but help us out, and it helps to ensure that we get more FM24 content each and every day, and our climb from the bottom to the top continues right here on YouTube. Thank you, everyone who has given us your support. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your eyeballs. Thank you for your clicks. I'll look forward to seeing you next time as we wrap up the week. Until then, bye-bye.